All right, everybody. Yeah, the revolution must live would be the email. Organized prophecies. Am I trying to give you some religious line? No, I'm not trying to give you a religious line. But this is looking at things in a broader spectrum. This is looking at things in a completely different sense of the manner. We're going to start working on it from my end. My main focus will be, i.e., KRS-One, Tupac, Biggie. I talked about Public Enemy, Chuck D. I mean, Flavor Flav was involved, but all the political end of the conspiracy behind the struggle, movements of many sources, and decided to call the channel Organized Prophecies because in life there's so much stuff and people live by it because it was written. It was an organized prophecy um, that people wrote that this is what we should do, this is what we should abide by, and this is how it's going to go down. And not all, but some of these organized prophecies, there's a lot of corruption, there's a lot of elusives, there's a lot of who's, ifs, whys, theys, just all types of different ways to look at things and to see things in a better light. And we're coming at it out of music. And it's not just music. It's not just to the music industry or the rap genre. It's rap, rock, country. It's all over. It's also in the movie media. Yeah, it's also in everyday life. Um, when you look at society as a whole, society is a bunch of pawns in a big ass game regulated by the government, and they tell you which steps are okay and which steps are not okay. Um, and a lot of people know that, but with this channel, we're gonna show a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk about stuff. We're gonna delve into real fact. You know what I mean? We're going to go straight, straight to sources over time. And this channel for me it's like it's kind of like life. It just continues, right? Over time, I would eventually like to get to talk to some artists to see what they have to say, whether or not it's about the oh so known Illuminati or conspiracies of that form, because these people are available and they're things that do intrigue me. There are things that do intrigue a lot of people that I know, a lot of people that I've talked to about it that like to get into looking at things from a different perspective. Not to say look at life negatively, but just kind of, when you look at everything, kind of know that reality isn't really everything that you were told it was. What reality is also right there in front of you. But you see, society, like I said, they move to the side like pawns and fall under this regulated rule. And then you have people that, it's not that other people can't. Some people got to be taught. Some people just want to believe. Some people just want to be in a massive form. But I've always been like, that doesn't make sense. I don't want to buy into it. It sounds like bullshit. And to me, when something sounds like bullshit, I look into it. And if it's something worth joining, it's something worth believing in, then I will choose to believe in it. I'm not going to believe in it because I was told to. I'm not going to believe that all these, for certain instance, individuals, the number 25 is very synonymous for anyone with the music and the entertainment industry and everything that's happened. The number 25 is very infamous. There's lots of things, and we'll drop tidbits that make you go, is it bullshit? Is it real? Is it whatnot? It'll be all over the place. But we're going to delve into a lot of conspiracy shit, theory shit, but organized prophecies in the sense of if we regulate things for people, they'll believe in a general rule. And when they abide by this general rule, there are people that step out of line, so to speak, and people that question and poke and prod, but the mass majority just stands convinced because they were told to. And that's an organized prophecy. and it's organized prophecies for that very reason, because it's music, it's movies, it's life. If you're artist in any way, shape, or form, an outspoken person that reaches people and is able to educate them, when you show them that the way that is in generally preached to, practice, and everything, it's not that these people aren't, so to speak, even good people, but one of the biggest things is, and I am not religious at all, but thou shalt not judge one another. But we live in a society where if you don't abide by, that's all that's done. Each to their own, you know, have the freedom to have your own mind, have the freedom to know that what you have looked into, the fact, the hard fact that is in front of your face is probably true. But you're going to have a lot of people that just sit there and look at it and go, no, it's not true because, the media, and the masses say that's not true. But see, there's the thing. There's people in place and certain rule in place, if you will, within music, within movie, within all type of life, not just in the mainstream society, but in life, that if they get too prodded at, there's things in place to take care of that. And when you think about it, how hard, a man dies in a car crash, you know? So many different ways, so many different things that when you're outspoken, when you're what, when you're this and that, and I put it that way because it makes you think, what? You know, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Things aren't always what they're said to be. It doesn't mean that it's a pretty picture. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here saying the whole way around that all these people and everything were fucking saints or anything by this measure. But there's a lot of conspiracy. And there have been many, of course, high profile, because when high profile people go, we know, see, and if you really truly pay attention, learn a lot more, because there's a lot of stuff going on about them. A lot of groups, a lot of activism, a lot of all types of information. And it's there if you really want it. The truth will set you free, and knowledge is power. Um, the thing always comes to be, though, like I said, a lot of people don't want to, you know, well, I hear what you're saying, and even though, I'm feeling it, I'm just gonna conform. And even though they're not saying, they're not like I'm a bitch, and I just do what I need to do because life tells me. That's not what I mean. It's just some people, they're okay with that. And it's not that I want to interrupt their life. It's not that I want to make them question themselves. It's just that you look at everything. You look at society. You look at things that people are addicted to. You look at all these things. All these things that people are addicted to, for the most part, are legal: tobacco, alcohol, prescription medications, and they'll kill you. To me, I've always had the food for thought that it's a regulated way to kill off a certain amount of people per year. Because the world, and it's not just here or there, it's everywhere. The world is so fucking big. The world, it seems by the way it's structured by the quote unquote people that be, um, that it needs to die off a bit each year. So there's regulated ways to kill a certain amount of people each and every year. I know a lot of people that were like, yo, prescription marijuana, for, let's say, for instance, it's a good thing I don't smoke, but, the thing is when it's legalized medicinally, it doesn't even have to just be pot to smoke. It could be turned into butter, the THC pill, all types of ways that, for one instance, you could help people without the brutal side effects, without, like memory loss, massive headaches, all types of, high blood pressure, and just, all these other side effects and all these other things, not to mention that they become something you become physically dependent on because your body becomes accustomed to having them, and it goes through withdrawals without them. So, But all the ways that you can deal with these pains and all these things in life, they'll kill you. But all the ways that you could do them, i.e., for the prime example, with medicinal use of marijuana or even THC, butter and pill and whatever you want to talk about it, a remedy that will not kill you and it will help you is illegal because it's regulated killing. A certain amount of people per year are going to die due to this one fact right here. That's a hard fact, but it's true. I mean, and that's just food for thought, right? And that's what we're doing here. And to the people that like the quick to get to the point videos, sometimes we'll have short snippets. Sometimes it might be more drawn out than you want it to be, because we want to do this and look at things for what they should be and not skip things. No, facts along the way. So we want to properly educate. So um, if you want to follow certain stuff in it, great. If you're feeling different on certain stuff, always hit it up with a response. And this sort of thing is meant to spark debate, meant to spark discussion, meant to spark thought, and meant for people to scratch their heads and go and give that individual insight. You know what I mean? So Militia Mac, definitely my partner in crime on this here channel. I know he's big, he's huge on it, and I mean there's a lot of things to come, and I I don't really know how to say it past there. Then life is what you make it, and there's a lot of things in front of you that you question, and it's not like you have to ruin your life questioning these things, but when things don't seem right, as people, we have the right to decide and make up our own mind on these things. And in life and in situations and in any instances that you see, you should always remember and first exercise that right to absorb it into your brain and examine it how you want to do it, not how somebody else told you to do it. Use that freedom of that thought. So when you use your freedom of speech, the words that are coming out are impactful. And the people that are really impactful in this world, they always go. Because, well, that's something we're going to get into in another video. So I think this intro video is out, and we're going to come up with some things right quick here. Like I said, any homie that wants to be down on this, make a video response to this, and just talk a little bit about what you want to bring to this, the edge that you want to talk about, or make an intro into this. You make the effort to be a part of this, and it's not about you know this is no popularity contest. I have to say this. There'll be all types of copyright things on here, so partnership and all that file sharing with YouTube and shit. That'll never be, because this isn't what it's about. It's about reminding people that they have their own brain and that they really should use it. And the ones that want to listen, I think you should enjoy a lot of this, just because when you look at things and you look at life and you look at what you're supposed to believe and what you had been told, everybody knows it's not always that pretty picture with fucking roses and sparkling diamonds and shit. You know what I'm saying? We hear people live in the real world. And sometimes I think people need to be reminded of that. And it's always good, like I said, food for thought. So get at me. Let's make the next move in, organized prophecies, i.e., the revolution must live, because people must stand up and say, hey, you know what? Fuck this. We're not minions. We're not stupid. We got the right to use this fucking brain that's up inside our individual heads and make steps forward. All right, we're up out. Peace.